Hey, sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson.
Check it out. Never knew a friend till I met a foe. Never knew pain till I met the game. Never had a real team that could win a ring. Never knew what a friend could do. Never knew I'd be bruised all black and blue. With my back to the wall. Scrap with my dogs. Rap with my dogs. Cat with my dogs. Fly with me in Atlanta. Oakland, Los Angeles.
Coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest. I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops, and Cece, yeah, they're going to be there. Playing in front of them in the NBA uniform for the first time is going to be a special moment for me. Now, I know all of Harlem's going to be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good, though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. The Nets will look to their home court advantage. Just one game here in Brooklyn. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season. They could only manage a single win in 4 tries against these guys last year.
And this, the first of 3 games these two teams will play against one another this season.
Yeah, you know, these are 2 rival teams that will see each other a fair amount this season. We'll see which team can tip it off with a win.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Here's Jack. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul.
Well, it's still early in the quarter, and they're only 1 foul away from being over the limit.
Outside Jack. Here's Lopez. Score it. His 3rd straight basket in 3 tries.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Yeah, the great field goal percentage to start, exactly what they were hoping for.
For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
Here's Jack after Pau Gasol's bucket. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Jack, here we go. Lets it go from the wing. The rebound by Gibson. Bulls trail by 5. Freak with it. Left side Butler. Passes it to Gasol. Baseline try. And a little luck that time, but it drops. Gasol's got 6.
That's a terrific set that they just ran.
Outside Jack. Pass to Kilpatrick. And Young kicks to Jack.
And guys, looking at Jarrett Jack, one word comes to mind: professional. I mean, he's as solid as they come. Tough, capable, experienced, and he proved it all again last season.
So both teams changing it up here.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Now here's Freak. He's guarded closely. Noah dishes to Freak. Good, and a nice assist from Noah. Talking about Jarrett Jack, he is especially dangerous at the end of the game. Not only does he make great decisions, Clark, he was a top 10 free throw shooter last season.
Yeah, experienced, tough-minded ball handlers and shot makers are always valuable, especially when it's winning time.
Here's Jack following the basket by Freak. 1:39 left to play in the first quarter. Stolen away. In transition, here come the Nets.
Well, that's why they're on the lead. Aggressive play at both ends. Very nicely done there.
Absolutely. They make the steal, pay dividends instantly on the fast break.
Feeds it to Moore. Noah the screen. Fades back. And it's Freak missing.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, you hope that's not indicative of the type of D they're going to play, because if they do, they're going to have struggles with him tonight.
And Brooklyn has possession. Following the three-point attempt by Freak. 6 to shoot. And Jack, here we go. Lays it up and banks it in. Jack's got 6.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number one right now. Nothing easy on the inside.
Now here's Moore. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's Portis. Brooklyn with the rebound. Jack passes to Sloan. There's a screen by Robinson. Sims kicks to Jack. The putback, and it's Robinson with the jam.
Just no
away and not show any.
Second team foul.
Seven seconds left in the first quarter. And it's Moore penetrating. That drops. Moore's got his first points in this one.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well,
and the Gasol brothers, both starters in the All-Star game last season. It's the first time that's happened in NBA history. Pau talked about the joy of sharing the NBA stage with his brother Mark. Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way two of them... Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Nets leading by 6. We've got Bogdanovich. Brook Lopez is out there with Young. Then it's Donald Sloan. And it's Kilpatrick in at the 2 guard. So that's the Nets 5. And Freak throws it down.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And good on the basket. Bookins. 8 points for Brook Lopez.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Shots good by Butler.
And for Jimmy Butler, so much improvement over his young career, especially as a shooter. His rookie year, he shot just 18% from 3. Last season, he shot 38% from there.
Screen by Young. Sloan dishes to Lopez.
Brook Lopez, guys, started the season as the starting center for the Nets last year, but it didn't end up that way.
And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Nets.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Chicago. Outside Gibson, shot clock at 5. Plenty of daylight on that shot. Butler's got 5 points so far. Lopez ended up coming off the bench for the Nets for a stretch last season. There was a lot of debate, Clark, if that was the right role for him.
Kevin, clearly there were differing opinions because as soon as it happened, every GM called Brooklyn up to see if Lopez was available.
Gibson with the steal. Now here's Butler. T right on him. The shot goes down and it gets this game back to even.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
And the foul called on Freak. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Henry Sims has checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for Thaddeus Young. And Jared Jack has subbed in for Donald Sloan. The Bulls have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Freak passes to Gibson. And Moore kicks to Freak. Back to Moore. From about 16, and he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Kilpatrick, and a great assist by Jack as that one goes in. And it's a 5-point Nets lead. The Bulls shooting at an even 50% from the floor here in the second quarter.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the Brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
1:53 left to play here in the half. Pass to Kilpatrick. He dishes it to Bogdanovich. 5 to shoot. The rebound by Gibson.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Moore left side. Bulls moving the ball around. Nice shot by McDermott.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a...
Ladies and gentlemen, your Brooklyn.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. What a show they put on here at home tonight.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan player of the game, Brook Lopez. He simply had a dominant third quarter, and it quickly became apparent he wanted to exert his control over the tempo of the game.
He flat out dominated. I mean, you see the kind of plays he was making all over the court. This is the game, no matter who they put on him, he wasn't going to be denied.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson saying good night, and we'll see you again soon, but not soon enough.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, I'm living the dream. Bad pandemonium. Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgments might shadow his actual character. He's not that at all. Man, Vic, let me tell you something.
I get it 365, 12 months, 24/7. Gotta get it, I need it steady. No one give it all I give. They don't love us, they just love it how we live. How we live. How we live. How we live. They don't love us, they just love it how we live. 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 Say they don't love us, they just love it how we live. 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 They don't love her, they just love her how we live.
You was never round, had to hold it down. We the youngest, we was thugging, you was never found. What's that feeling? I'm the realest. All them nights I had to struggle trying to find some dinner. They don't really love me, they not really for me. When I die, is you gon' show up to the ceremony? I just bought a Bentley, just to bet you Christian Louboutin to make a switch religion. I'm not stupid, baby. But the mention is, me and Benji are related like relatives. I'm a high, dropping millions in. Go and get it, I'm the shit, then don't need no laxative.
I get it 365, 12 months, 24/7. Gotta get it, I need it steady. No one give it all I give. They don't love us, they just love it how we live. How we live. How we live. How we live. They don't love us, they just love it how we live. How we live, how we live, how we live, how we live. See, they don't love her, they just love it how we live. How we live, how we live, how we live, how we live. How we live, how we live, how we live, how we live. How we live, how we live, and they don't love her, they just love her how we live.
They say in due time, but my watch broke. I know. It's a cold world, but we got coats. We grinding to make it. Yes. We shining, they hate. Yes. We ball till we fall. Every diamond's a flake. I'm signed to the pavement. I'm crossing them over. I'm backing them down. Standing tall like a soldier. These players can't hold us. It's the winner's race. Eating with Ken and Ace at a table, no dinner plates. We the best, get it straight. What's the problem, baby? Raised out of Harlem, baby. What's driving my mama crazy? They ain't trying to give it, so I gotta go get it. Harder than ever to
I
live.
get it 365, 12 months, 24/7. Gotta get it, I need it steady. No one give it all I give. They don't love us, they just love it how we live.
Only 2 teams made it through to the final. Here's the story of how it all went down. You don't want to miss this.
Faith a minute, put your trust in nobody. Yeah. I said have faith a minute, but put your trust in nobody.
Big homestand coming up. There's nothing better than playing in front of your home crowd, but there's also a certain level of pressure that comes with it. I don't get it done tonight, and that raises the sense of urgency even higher next time. So I'm just focused on this game and getting a W for the best fans in the world.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
It's a West versus East contest here in the windy city of Chicago, Illinois, as the Bulls play one at home. Today's game marks the continuation of the Clippers' road schedule. Well, they're certainly excited about this one, and they'll be laying it all on the line as the intensity is palpable. Two top caliber. Gibson comes in for Mirotic, and Freak subbed in for McDermott. He's checked in for Griffin. Here's Crawford in for J.J. Redick. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. Paul and Crawford pair up at the 1 and 2. Pierce is out. Rose against Pierce. 6 on the shot. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Well, Paul Pierce hinted that he could hang him up soon. He had that amazing run. Has nothing left to prove in the NBA. And I would say, of all the players in last year's playoffs, had some of the most dramatic individual shots we have seen from one guy in a long time.
He did, and you know, you forget he's done that really over the course of his entire career. It's just kind of funny to see him doing it in a Wizards jersey. But you talked about it. He's going to go down as one of the all-time greats, no doubt about it. So many big moments over the course of his career. And also, for all the kids out there, the best maybe footwork we have in our game, if you want to improve as a player, watch Paul Pierce's footwork.
Crawford's shot is good.
A delicious dime from Chris Paul there.
Bulls trail by 5. Rose kicks to Butler. The feed to Noah. And Rose wide open. He shoots. Rose can't get that one to fall. Los Angeles has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Here's Crawford. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Boy, for Jamal Crawford, guys, it's been a really good career. Not many guys can maintain his level of quickness after 15 years in the league. I mean, but last season, he finally started to show a little wear and tear.
The Bulls making a switch here. Moore's checked in, and the Clippers with the change here, too. Austin Rivers, he's checked in for Paul. And back to Crawford last season, he was down in field goal and three-point percentage. Plus, he battled with a calf injury that ultimately kept him out of 17, 18 games late in the year.
Yeah, Kevin, but his deep range spread the floor when he was out there. He still has that presence about him that you have to honor him. And he also hits some very timely shots. A dangerous assassin who always needs to be accounted for. And, guys, the Clippers last year, they were okay against the Eastern Conference, but not spectacular. You would have thought that with how well they were overall, they would have just really feasted on the East. And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. As you said with the Clippers, Greg, they did decently against the Eastern Conference. But of the Western playoff teams, Clark, they had the second worst record against the Eastern Conference.
And, you know, things like that matter, Kevin. I mean, they struggled against Eastern Conference playoff teams, went only 6-10 against those teams last year.
Just a good, solid, aggressive finish there on the break.
Not going to get much easier than that, Greg. Simple.
Rivers kicks to Pierce. Pass to Rivers. Noah with the block.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
Here's Crawford. Lets it go from deep. Got it off in time, but it's no good. The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. The Clippers. And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the jump to the pros, we can expect to hear more stories like this, I'm sure.
Well, without question, Kevin, that's the case in the landscape that we find ourselves in. But, you know, there's something to be said for developing all 4 years in college when that's the best route for an individual player. Nowadays, I think, unfairly so, there's a ton of pressure on young guys sometimes to leave prematurely. We'll see if Freak's decision pays off for him long term.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
You can tell the point of emphasis has been to get to the offensive glass.
Yep, and they've set the tone here early with the hustle they've come out with.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. Setting the floor for the Clippers, we've got Green. Griffin is out there with Cole Aldridge. Then there's J.J. Redick, and it's Rivers in at the 1.
And Coach Doc Rivers wears multiple hats for this organization. Not only is he the head coach, but also in charge of all basketball operations, really the leader in a lot of ways for this team.
Gasol, good on the 13-footer.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with his team. He told Gasol that he wants their offense to run through him. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. The Clippers have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
And as a team, they're down around 72.
So for the Bulls, Mirotic is checked in for Doug McDermott, and Freak subbed in for Rose. To the middle, Redick with the bucket. Redick's got 6 points.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Now here's Freak, defended by Paul. Gasol screen. Shot clock at 6. Rebound by Aldridge.
You know, one of the things I think we forget about with Chris Paul is just how clutch he is as a player. I mean, hitting the go-ahead shot in Game 7 against the Spurs last postseason was a big reminder to everyone that this guy is clutch.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
That one's all good. Now he's 3 for 5 from the field.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
And talking about Paul and his ability to come up in the clutch, that Game 7 shot when he was playing injured against San Antonio, the defending champions, turned out to be the game-winning points. Remarkable play, remarkable series for him.
It was. You know, you could see him hobbling around out there and would have to miss games in that Rockets series, the first 2, if I recall. But that series is what Paul is really all about, Kevin. He is a competitor, first and foremost.
And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that 2-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Dishes to Gasol. And the foul called on Freak. That is his first foul of the game. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for the Bulls. Butler comes in for Ejuan Moore. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Jordan's checked in. Redick dishes to Green. And Mirotic sends it back. They recover it. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Clippers.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
You know, they've also shown some real tenacity here early on tonight. It's paid off with a lot of second chance points.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Pierce comes in for Jeff Green. And it's Crawford in for J.J. Redick. And it's going to be a 3-second call. This break in the action gives us a chance to show you the NBA's current fast break specialists. The Bulls in second.
You know, it's an entertaining style of play. And look, I mean, those are the baskets you want if you've got the legs for it. Scoring becomes a lot easier.
They set the pick. Pierce wide open. He fires. Chicago grabs the miss. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
Really easy to tell that this is an important game, Greg. I mean, I don't know if the crowd will get a chance to take a breath in this one.
Chicago was as strong as they would have hoped for last season at home in the United Center. A lot of big wins for them here.
Yeah, and despite all the injuries, they go 27-14 at home, and that helped to assure them of home court in the first round of the playoffs.
Gibson with the screen on Crawford. And Mirotic has it in the corner. No one near him. DeAndre Jordan grabs the miss. It's Crawford with the drive. Paul left side. The 9-foot shot. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Mirotic has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Butler with the ball. He's picked up by Paul. From 13. That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Butler.
In the mid-range, rarely the hallmark of efficiency in today's NBA, but it is on point tonight.
It sure is, Greg. It might be the strongest aspect of their offense here.
Here's Griffin. Noah with the block. And he recovers it. A nice shot by Griffin.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Gibson passes to Freak. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. That's good. Noah's got his first points of the night.
Boy, they're getting into a real groove from inside the three-point line, knocking down those mid-range jump shots.
8 of their last 10 have come from the mid-range.
With 1 on the clock, and released it in time, but it's off the mark. And a pretty tightly contested game here.
Well, thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
Griffin.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Taj Gibson's checked in for Gasol. Portis comes in for Doug McDermott. Ejuan Moore, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. And Freak subbed in for Derrick Rose. And then for the Clippers, Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. And it's Rivers in for Green. Freak, he's in at point guard. Portis is out there at Mirotic. Then it's Taj Gibson. And it's Moore in at the shooting guard position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for Chicago.
They found a great rhythm from long range.
They sure did, Kevin. Every time they left a man open deep, he'd get a good look at the basket. And they didn't hesitate, and the aggressiveness paid off.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
Sometimes, guys, it's hard during the first meeting of a season to get a feel for a team, but these guys came out and made the necessary adjustments, and I think they've got to feel good about going up 1-0 in the season series against the Clippers.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Jimmy Butler. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in. Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Paul with the bucket.
And they're on the kind of run that could have made a difference had it just started a little earlier.
Yeah, but I think the only reason they're on this run is because the defense has relaxed a little bit, knowing the game is basically in the bag.
And here's Freak. Misses the shot. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, Clark, made the difference.
Well, you know, at this stage, you've got to defend your home floor.
Good win, good win, good win. Good win.
Well, pal, congratulations on the win here. How satisfying is this victory for you and the team?
It's satisfying just because we got another great win. And the way we've been playing lately, I think it's just been great, and we just got to keep the momentum going.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan player, Jimmy Butler. He had a nice surge to start the second half, hitting his first 3 shots.
Well, you know, when Butler's on the court, he's going to come at you in all sorts of ways. I mean, defensively, offensively, this guy can just flat out play. Let's not forget he's an all-star, too.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys.
And, folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire
The only color I care about is green, money. Now, you've certainly made some money so far, Freak, but it's time we make more money. I'm talking movies, TVs, endorsements, even your own brand Jordan sneakers.
I care about the game first, Dom. All that sounds great, but don't you think it's a little too early to be talking about all that?
Too early? LeBron was 12 years old in 6th grade when he was thinking Space Jam. It's never too early to take and make leaps.
I guess.
You guess? This isn't high school. This isn't college. This is the real world. And the real world is fueled by one thing.
Mr. Dom Pagnotti. Mr. Diamond and Platinum himself. It's a love-hate relationship.
What do you think about people who see your brother as just a meal ticket?
Well, that's why I'm there. I'm the gatekeeper. Yep. I can smell it from a mile away.
When you take time out for your own personal life, do you have a personal life?
I do.
Where at?
I just...
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Wow. Christmas Day game. I didn't expect to be on this stage as a rookie. It'll be exciting, no doubt. I watched the NBA all day long on Christmas growing up. And to think that kids out there will be seeing me be a part of that, it's surreal. And I've never been one to disappoint the kids, so I better go out there and put on a show.
Welcome to a special presentation of the NBA on Christmas Day here on 2K Sports. We want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. Thunder here to defend the home court, playing host to the Eastern Conference. They beat the Bulls during their last encounter in Chicago.
And in that game, guys,
just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Well, you look back on the Thunder last season, and the theme was injuries. Too many injuries to the bulk of their core.
And, you know, the big three, Durant, Westbrook, and Ibaka, all missed significant time. Only Westbrook of those three was able to finish the season.
Bulls trail by 9. Brooks kicks to Freak. Back to Brooks. Takes the 3. The kick outside to Butler. Another shot. And it's good on the way in. Butler's got 5 now.
really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Here's Durant. Good as the jump shot falls. 5 points in the game.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
And a wide open look for Freak. Bangs home the trifecta.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Outside Westbrook. There's a good screen. Off the pick. And Adams with the slam.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Mirotic's shot is off. The Thunder leading by 8. 41 seconds left in the first quarter. And Westbrook.
And it was the screen there, guys, that freed him up as he ran his man into it.
And then it was all acceleration, GA, to the bucket right after that.
Almost a backboard breaker.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. The Thunder have gone 7 of 11 from the field to begin the game. They set the pick. No good on that last second attempt. And before the game, Star Center Joakim Noah talked about the intensity of this Chicago Bulls team. You know, I think Joakim can certainly make a case, Clark, for Chicago being that famished 5, especially with Rose back on the court.
There's no doubting that, Kevin. I mean, even the addition of Gasol with his 2 rings, the way he left things in L.A., that left him with an appetite that has him still hustling.
And we're ready to get rolling once again here for our Christmas Day matchup. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, guys, what do you think?
This is almost like a volleyball game when you watch just how many shots they blocked or altered.
Well, how about this? A lot of side out for them, the way they've swatted shots away. That's a volleyball term, by the way, folks.
Yeah, or handball. Or handball. Either one of the two. They're knocking a lot away.
Yeah.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So for Oklahoma City right now, inside, you've got Ibaka and Kanter. Russell Westbrook out there with Roberson. And it's Waiters in at the small forward. Free throw drops for Rose. Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injuries. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
McDermott kicks to Rose. Here's Freak. Off target from three-point range.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Especially, Greg, when you're scoring the ball at a decent clip the way they have. I mean, they've done exactly what's necessary to take the lead.
And, you know, back to D. Rose, he grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Westbrook drives in. And it's Chicago with the rebound. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
They just weren't challenged. I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically the entire game.
Here's Rose. And Kanter pulls it down. Oklahoma City leading by 5. Here's Waiters. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And guys, Dion Waiters is a man who has never met a shot he didn't like. Despite shooting less than 40% from the field last season, he just kept on shooting. Now, every once in a while, he'd get hot and it would look good. But when he's off, which was most of the time, it didn't look very good. He's got to improve shot selection and shot discipline.
Mitch McGary's checked in for Kanter. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Thunder.
And they've made an effort to get to the line here in the first half, guys, and it's starting to pay off.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Lets it go from 11. Shot's good by Waiters. Waiters got 4 this quarter. Bulls trail by 6. Outside Rose to the paint. Here's Freak. The shot, no good. Ibaka with some nice D. The Thunder have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. And the foul called on Freak. That's foul number 2 for him. Kevin Durant, he's checked in for Waiters. Westbrook against Rose. Stolen by Rose. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
That's how you make it happen, guys. Ball pressure and then a run out.
And that's how you flip the script in terms of momentum right there.
Here's Roberson. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And the foul called on Freak. And that'll be his 3rd foul. And so that's the end of the first half.
Look, Kevin, it obviously seemed like you were in...
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment.
It's been a solid outing for Butler. He's got 11 points and the 1 steal.
Offensively, defensively, man, he has done it all.
All hustle, non-stop effort. He just doesn't quit. Great resilience and relentlessness in his play.
It's checked in for the Bulls. Oklahoma City leading by 6. So for Chicago right now, Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Freak is out there with Rose. And it's Butler in at the small forward. Westbrook kicks to Ibaka. Robertson dishes to Durant. 5 to shoot. Here's Ibaka. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room. You know, and Billy Donovan, the Oklahoma City Thunder, were able to pull him away from the college game last season, signed him to a 5-year deal in the middle of last year's playoffs.
Gibson with the steal. Rose against Westbrook. Left side Rose. Here's Freak. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 4 assists in the game. And for Billy Donovan, we were talking about him. He had been with Florida for so long, the Gator program built by him. It'll be a big change. He had been thinking about it, though, before. He almost took, remember that Greg the Magic job back in 2007?
You know, there was a change of heart for him with the Orlando gig. And Donovan's done nothing but win at Florida, and he'll have that same pressure to succeed with the high expectations with the Thunder.
Down low, it's deflected. Stolen by Cantor. Westbrook against Rose. And Cantor wide open. He shoots. No good with the elbow jumper. Bulls trail by 5. Rose passes to Freak. Back to Rose. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. It's Gasol missing. While Thunder have gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. And Robertson kicks to Westbrook. And now Rose running the floor all by himself. And Durant sends it back. And the foul called on Freak. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Adams, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Mitch McGary comes in for Serge Ibaka. Dion Waiters checked in for Robertson. And it's Payne in for Russell Westbrook. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Joakim Noah is checked in for Gasol. Portis comes in for Taj Gibson. Mirotic is checked in for Butler. And Brooks subbed in for Derrick Rose. Durant, no good.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Payne with it, now guarded by Mirotic. It's Durant on the wing. Again, Durant missing.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Noah the screen. Brooks dishes to Freak. Mirotic has a wide open look. And the 3 off target. The Thunder leading by 5.
Clearly a 2-for-1 situation here, guys.